We're talking to Grant Wilson and Mike Richie from Rather Dashing Games.
And you look rather dashing.
I know, I love the outfit.
We clean up well.
Quite.
Gentlemen, now you're getting to be old hats now at the conventions.
Okay.
This is number 2 for you. Wasn't Origins the first show that you
For our company, yes.
Right,
Mike
that
is
you
an
unveiled.
established game designer. He's been to Gen Con several times. It's my first time. I've been to other ones like Dragon Con and stuff like that. But
Down in Atlanta.
this is great because it's just games. I mean, it's awesome. I love it. Yeah.
It's our favorite show. It really is.
How can it not be?
If I had to pick one show that this company would do in the year, it would be Gen Con.
Everybody
Absolutely.
has a lot of fun. It's a very inclusive sort of feeling too. And it doesn't matter what you play, everybody has a great time. But we're not here to promote Gen Con, we're here to promote Rather Dashing Games.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about, I believe you have 3 titles that are available right now. Am I correct on that?
You are correct. We have 3 titles. We have our flagship product, which is called Four Taverns, and we also have an educational game for kids called Red Hot Silly Peppers, and a tile-laying strategy-based pirate-themed card game called X Marks the Spot.
Well, that's a mouthful.
Yes. Yes.
So let's start off, let's talk a little bit about Four Taverns.
Oh, okay. Well, Four Taverns, it's a fun and lighthearted fantasy adventure.
Screw your neighbor style.
Very, very stab your buddy in the back repeatedly until they cry for mercy. It is a game that's very heavy on lore, but the mechanics are very simple. So we're trying to make games that are approachable by non-gamers, but that are also a lot of fun and accessible for the hobby gaming market. And you are trying to be the best known tavern in the land, and you do that by winning quests with your bold and intrepid adventurers that you hire and send out.
From your tavern.
From your tavern.
Almost like sponsoring a softball team.
Exactly.
Very much.
But the problem is there are 3 other taverns trying to do the same thing and you don't like each other. So we have provided, Mike has come up with a nice set of tools with which you can screw your neighbor soundly.
Curse
and
dagger.
a sure victory, yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
Then we have Red Hot Silly Peppers, I believe you just said.
Red Hot Silly
That's
Peppers.
a little bit of a mouthful.
Yes. Spicy mouthful.
They did Californication, wasn't that one of those songs?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's what that is.
Slight difference.
So it's educational. So
It's educational.
That scares me.
Well, it started out just being as a math-based game. I wanted to make a game that would be, if your children come up to you and say, "Hey, can we play this?" You don't want to claw your eyes out. And so it's a
Few of those, right?
fairly.
Are you insinuating some children's games are like that?
No.
Never.
I can insinuate that.
You can. It's similar. It's addition and subtraction, and you're trying to make the perfect bowl of salsa. But the perfect bowl of salsa keeps changing because you have a spinner that's a bowl of salsa. You have pepper cards of different heats, which are represented in the rules as the actual heat values on the Scoville scale. And if it's a trick-taking game, so if the perfect bowl of salsa is for some reason 50 right now, and I lay down 2 cards that add up to 50, you could trump me with 3 and take them all.
That would add up to 50.
That would add up to 50.
Yes.
So you would then play till the deck is gone, and whoever has the most cards wins.
And it's
So you have to go to 50 because I can really only go to 20, but that's only if I take my shoes and socks.
Well, you're counting by 5.
Counting by 5,
Yeah,
so
there's no,
it goes much higher. You can now go to
Okay,
you
there
can now
are-
go to 100.
you don't have to carry the 1 or anything weird like that.
Yeah, it's all in denominations of 5, so it's designed to be very quick and simple for kids for addition and subtraction.
Exactly.
Yes.
That actually works pretty good. I've got a daughter going into kindergarten this year.
There you go.
And as I'm well aware, because this will be the 5th one, it's not easy to get the math taught. So
But honestly, we know a
Anyway,
lot
we're
of
gonna be
people
fun.
who don't even have kids that play that game, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Beer and pretzels
Yeah.
game, it's fine too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Filler games is, I'm not a big fan of that term filler. Just
We like
simply-
bridge games, is what we call them.
Right, yeah.
It's a bridge between gamers and not so gamer and gamers.
Or the games that you basically wind up or wind down the night with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, I
Right.
mean, let's be honest. I love Settlers of Catan. I'm not going to play Settlers of Catan while I'm waiting for my appetizer.
No.
Right.
Straightforward. You know?
So, you play a healthy round of Pathfinder once a week or whatever, and sometimes you just want to chill out, grab a drink, and play something a little bit you don't have to focus so much on.
Exactly.
But it's still enriching, and you still slap your friends around with,
And then you have X marks the spot.
X marks the spot. Would you like to describe it?
X Marks the Spot is a lot of fun, but unlike our other games, it's something that you can master over time, kind of like chess or checkers, but a lot more fun than that. You play as one of 4 real-life pirates, and we used our friend artist Nigel Sod to do the artwork on it. And he kind of modernized these pirate flags, and you lay them down as tiles on the table, and as you lay them down, it starts to build this board, and you're trying to simply make an X with your pirate flags, either orthogonally or diagonally, but it's not as simple as you think. First of all, you don't know who the other pirates are at the beginning of the game, so you don't know if you're helping someone or hurting someone else, because you could be making your own X and inadvertently be helping someone else make an X.
Right.
And there's a lot in there. There's ghost ships, there are Kraken that can only be destroyed by cannons, which of course doesn't exist in chess or checkers, that type of thing.
Right.
So, and it's a 2 to 4 player game. So when it gets 4 players, it gets a little crazy. And I've played it many times, and each time you play it, the strategy gets a little deeper and a little deeper. And you could really probably have a tournament style matchup with that and have a lot of fun.
In fact, I plan on it probably next year or the year after. As soon as we're well known enough to warrant a tournament, that will be in the mix.
Yes.
I'm a fan of games that are very easy to get into, especially gateway games, I like to call them, to introduce people to the hobby.
Yes.
There's still so many thousands upon thousands of people who don't even know any of this stuff exists.
Right,
And they would be so into it if they knew. And those kind of games where it's easy to get into, and then you suddenly start uncovering layers of strategy that you never realized were there, is what really gets people into this hobby.
That's
I agree.
exactly what we mean. And we like our games to take less than an hour to play, right?
Yeah.
About 10 minutes to explain, less than 10 minutes to explain, some of them less than 5. But they have repeatability. Like you could play, I've played each one of these games 100 times, and yes, I'm part owner of the company, but above and beyond that, I don't play a game unless I like to. And I just love these games. My kids play them, we nonstop, and they don't grow old because Mike's really good at working in enough flexibility that it's easy to get a grasp of the game, but you can still keep it alive and fresh with the techniques to play it,
And on that note is, sure, I make a great game, I hope anyway, but then Grant takes his paintbrush to it, as it were, and makes them beautiful, makes them rich, gives them a depth that adds to the lore. I mean, I've played games that the mechanics are cool, but it's not visually stimulating.
Nobody likes an ugly game.
Right.
Yeah,
And
really
all these
don't.
games could easily be played with shapes and colors, but part of our Rather Dashing mission statement is to make our games have some richness to them. Right. You open up that's the math game, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Each pepper is culturally inspired from where its origin. And you have facts on there for kids of where the peppers came from, what the Scoville means and all that. Four Taverns, of course, there's a lot of lore in there, and X Marks the Spot, those are actual pirates, and there's facts about them and all that,
There's more stuff available on our website about the pirates, things like that. It's just, there's depth and there's lore, and we think that's important to the replayability of a game.
As well as the fact that we're trying our hardest. So far, we've been able to do it. All of our products are made in the U.S. and sustainably forest, soy-based ink and all that stuff, and we want to be able to continue that, and they're not obscenely priced. So stuff. Yeah. It's a juggling game.
It's a fine line. We have to walk a lot of fine lines and find that one point in the center where price, productivity, fun, art all meet. And so far, we've been able to do that. And
sure,
I hope we can.
maybe a custom molded piece would look a lot cooler and be a lot cooler and show it.
More expensive for you to produce.
But then you got to make it in China or whatever, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So if we can avoid that, we're going to. But not. We don't want one to sacrifice for the other.
Right. Yeah. Again, it's that line.
Family games can be tricky as well because you can easily price yourself out of the market because a lot of people will say, well, geez, I could go to Walmart or Toys R Us and get a game for $12.
Yes.
And this game's $30 and it's for, ages 4 and up. It doesn't compute to them.
Right.
Yep,
Again,
exactly.
that's why we need more companies with the gateway games and more exposure, people playing with their friends and people saying, look, this is a great way to pass your time and gain friendships and cultivate your family relationships.
Right. And our mentality when it comes to the gaming community is every game sold helps us all.
It does.
You know what I mean? So we don't look at anybody as direct competition at all. And that's the beauty of this genre, of this field, is that, like Mike always says, I'm not selling toothpaste and you're selling toothpaste and we're competing. I mean, you buy the game because you love it.
Yeah.
So you have to earn it.
Speaking of that, I'd like to ask many of our guests, what are some of the games you really enjoy playing that doesn't have your fingerprints on it, I guess we'll say.
Okay, fair enough. We both play in several Pathfinder campaigns.
Yep.
We also done D&D. I like I think one of my favorite games right now, and I think you're going to be on the same page, is called Defenders of the Realm.
Eagle
Jeez,
Games.
Never heard
Never
of
heard of that.
Ever.
Richard Lanius.
And I mean,
And Larry Elmore is a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
So
Nice. He did great art for that too.
yes, he did.
he's a great guy.
That game was one of our first reviews, actually.
Oh,
when
really?
we launched.
That was a
I
good
think
place
it
to
was
start.
Our first or second game when we
It's
launched
great.
a couple years ago.
It's a great game.
It's like you want to play D&D? Not really. Let's play this. Boom.
Right.
You know,
It
it's a
scratches
lot
the
of
itch
fun.
without having to commit a lot of resources and time to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like that. I like Ticket to Ride. I like Catan. I just got the Star Trek Catan.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you get it autographed?
No.
We'll be playing it later.
I've been thinking about it.
But yeah, you name it. We love to play.
Yeah,
Excellent. One other question I would have is anything that you have maybe coming down the pike
Absolutely.
that you want to share with our
Only
our
like
visitors?
27 plus games in the wings. but-
Yeah. I've got several.
They always wait for us to interview.
Oh, good.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
30 minutes.
God says no.
Thank
no
you.
interviews.
Okay.
Yes, we have one game that we're working hard on right now, and we have about a dozen or more in the wings. And it's called Tanks for Playing. The quick gist is you will have a modular board of high ground and low ground, and you will take one of 6 tanks, each have their own strengths, weaknesses, and powers, and you just try to blow the crud out of each other.
Dropping nukes.
Yep.
Throwing mines, lasers, mobile weapons platform. You know, a lot of people, again, it's like a gateway game. A lot of people like these big, crazy tank games, which we think are
Which we do
awesome.
too, yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know how to sit there with a calculator and factor in,
Sure,
trajectory and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. Let's play this and just sit around, have a drink, and blow each other to smithereens.
Talk schmack.
Yeah,
Talk
of
schmack,
course,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there are each guy has their own little abilities, if I may.
Absolutely.
For instance, if you drop a nuke and you try to travel through the affected area, you take damage. But we have a mad scientist that, of course, doesn't take damage because he's a crazy mad scientist.
He's already been nuked
He's
enough.
already been nuked enough in the head. So a lot of fun stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got stuff coming. We're
Bigger
hoping
and
to
better.
every year we're going to come out with something hopefully bigger and better than before.
And we have to just do it fiscally smart in such a way that we can allow all these games to come out. So.
Yeah.
And give each game a little time for it to pretty much hit the market.
Yeah, gain its own-
Some game companies release so many games on top of each other.
don't
They
know
never
what to
give
buy.
their own titles, a chance to breathe
Exactly.
in the market.
Yeah, and we're trying to. That's why we're going slow, but going smart.
I was going to say 3 releases right out the gate. That's not real slow. That's a pretty
But
good
they're
start.
3 completely different games.
Yes.
So what kind of game do you like to play? We have something for you. So.
Yep.
So we've talked about Four Taverns, X Marks the Spot, and Red Hot Silly Peppers.
Yes.
So our viewers, they're sitting there going, wow, I want to pick one of these up, or all 3. Where are they going to do that online?
Online, well, you can go to rather-games.com. Yep. All of our stuff is available up there. We've also been picked up by some great distributors, so you may be able to find it in your local game or hobby store.
They've only gotten them over the last few months, so they're starting to get them into the stores. You can see them online, like we said, but it might take a little while for them to get in the different stores. But hobby stores, definitely, they should start having them.
You know what, Grant? I'm not sure that everyone is aware that you are the accomplished artist who does the... this is one of the skills that a lot of people aren't aware that you do, and that you do for the company. Which of the games actually have your artistic touch on them?
Okay, like I said, X Marks the Spot was done by Nigel Sod. I have done all the art for Four Taverns, lots of pencil sketches and things like that, and Red Hot Silly Peppers, and our soon-to-be-released Tanks for Playing. And hopefully every game from there on out, if I can muster the skill. But
I don't let him out of his cave much.
See, people are seeing a lot of different sides of Grant, like his artistic abilities and his fashion sense. So yeah,
thank you, my good man.
Our wives dress us.
Thankfully.
anything else? Any last words you'd like to share with our viewers?
One more thing. This is our good mascot, Sir Barnaby.
Yes.
And we have since made puppets of Sir Barnaby and his manservant Aloysius, and they have 2 videos online on our YouTube channel, and there's Goofy Adventures, and there will be much more coming. So look for those. You can see a link to them on our website or on our Facebook page. So.
I was going to say, and if you don't mind, we'll be more than happy to embed them in posts on our website to share it with our
please
visitors.
do.
More than happy to let you.
Barnaby wouldn't let us live it down if we didn't.
No, you'd hear about it all day.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike,
Thank you.